everybody, my name is Robin and welcome to my channel, Bird's Eye Stitches. This is a channel about cross stitch, so if you are new here, then welcome. I hope you are here because you have a love of cross stitch like I do, and if you are returning, still welcome. I assume you're here because you have a love of cross stitch like I do. Today is December 9th. It is Flosstube number 40. And it'll be a more traditional Flosstube today. So my last video was, I think, Thanksgiving. It was basically thankful to all of you guys, or for all of you guys, where I just kind of showed a few things I've been working on. Today is more of the, here's what I've been working on, here are the plans for the Magazine Monthly Challenge, and normal little bit of haul, little bit of chit chat, the usual. So let's see, what have I been up to in the last few weeks? I'm looking at my background. So my background, it's like a straight line behind me, and I'm kind of short and I'm sitting on this chair and I feel extra short because I'm not sitting on the pillow. So it's like the line behind me is cutting my head, which makes me feel a little strange. And then the stand that my cell phone is on, I just record on my phone. It's kind of wonky today, so it's like it keeps adjusting, and now we'll see if by the end of the video if it's still sort of straight. I can already see it kind of starting to tilt. I guess I could just turn my head like this. I don't know. It is what it is, right? Anyway, what have I been up to? I went out of town this last weekend. I was actually planning to get a whole bunch of stitching in starting in December, and I am getting some stitching in, but not quite as much as I wanted to because I had a kind of a last minute trip to go out of state. So I went to Utah, helped some friends move. So that was fun. Utah was freezing. I grew up in the mountains, I grew up in the cold, and I am very thankful that I live in the warmth. So just a little bit of snow. It is very beautiful if you don't have to do anything. But if you have to do anything at all, I forgot I don't like to shovel. We'll just leave it at that. So yeah, I went to Utah, did some stitching on the plane, and a little bit while I was there, so I will have that to show you. Starting to get a little bit of Christmas going, clearly not in this room, but I'm starting to get a little bit of Christmas going on around the house. Daughter and I are going to be picking up a tree this weekend, so that's exciting, and I have some lights out front, so good to go there. All right, we'll start with stitching. So I have a SAF. So I stole SAF, that is a start and finish, from my friend Candy, who is the 614 Stitcher. I saw her mention it on a Flosstube video and I thought that is super clever. I will probably never ever have one of those because who can do a start and a finish in between your videos? I literally thought that a few weeks ago and then I got one. So when I travel, if we're doing a road trip, I will usually bring a piece with me. But if I am flying, because I usually fly like Allegiant or one of those inexpensive airlines, they charge you for everything in the universe. So I will usually just bring like a backpack, right? So I don't bring a whole lot on the plane when I go there. And then I like to pick something up when I get there that I can just stitch on, something small that I can work on while I'm there. So that's what I did. I flew to Utah. I actually went to the Hobby Lobby. I almost never shop at Hobby Lobby, but I did this time. So I went to Hobby Lobby, it was close, and picked up a few things. One of them is the SAF. So without further ado, we have a small dimensions kit. It is called the Plaid Deer, and it is not FFO'd, but it is in a hoop. So, ta-da! It's so Christmassy. If I put this behind it, I have that. So this is just a small dimensions kit. There's a couple little scraggler pieces of floss sticking out there, but small dimensions kit. It's on 14 count white Aida, super crunchy, the huge. I will say, using the floss that came with this dimensions kit, I don't know if it's DMC, but it sure didn't feel like it. It was like knotting up like none other. I mean, it was, yeah. I'm very spoiled with my fancy thread these days, but the end result turned out really nice. I'll probably just get some felt or something. Obviously I'm going to cut the edges and then put some felt on the back and make it a little hanging or an ornament, something along those lines. But that is where we got. I actually put the final stitches on this guy right as the plane was landing. I mean, like, the plane landed, we were still like on the runway, right? Not even pulled all the way in. And I was, the last stitches were the dark red, like right here. I did like the very last stitch right then. So timing was perfect because I really wanted to get it done before I got home, just so I could have a SAF. So that is it. Super cute and perfect for Christmas. What else I have been stitching on? I have been stitching on just 2 other projects. Like I said, beyond that one, because I went out of town, I haven't done a whole lot of stitching this month. But after I'm done recording this video, it's going to be time to make some quick dinner for my daughter and I, and then we will be stitching while we watch some Christmas movies. So looking forward to that. In fact, I'm even drinking coffee right now. Like, I actually stopped and got some regular old Starbucks coffee so I would have some caffeine in my system so I could stay up and do some stitching and watching some movies. So that's the plan. Anyway, let's see. The other piece that I worked on, this guy here, is from Just Cross Stitch, and it's the October 2020 issue. And I started this piece for Oh My Gourd last month for Magazine Monthly Challenge. Eventually it's going to look something similar to this. I say similar because obviously I'm stitching mine on different fabric, but mine currently looks like this. So last time you guys saw this, I had done just part of this outline. Try to zoom this in just a smidge. There it goes. Since then, I have finished the outline, so I've done all of the stitching in this color, and I call it a butt. I stitched the pumpkin butt. It literally looks like a butt, but these are pumpkins, not butts. Once they have the leaves and the stems, I think they will look more normal, but that is where I got to on that. You will see this one again. It is on my plan list for Magazine Monthly Challenge for the December acrostic. So I will go over that just a little bit later, but I got some stitching done on that one. This one I actually worked on during the Magazine Monthly Challenge's Zoom call. So once a month we have we call it a planning Zoom, but I don't think we've actually done any magazine planning in months. Typically it's just kind of a Zoom and chat. So if you are not part of that Facebook group, you can request to join. It's just the Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge. My friend Carolyn Zook and I from Zook Stitch started that, I think 2 years ago now. We had to actually add the word cross stitch to the name because when it was just Magazine Monthly Challenge, we had all these weird spammers. You add cross stitch and we get less of those. So join that because there's a lot of fun stuff starting in January. Okay, next. The other thing I have been working on has been Temperature Tree. It is by Stitching Mommy. It is an older piece. I started it last year, 2 years ago. I don't know, but I started it. I gave up on it for a while. Now it's back. I'm going to finish it with just the tree. I'm not going to do all of the leaves, but I did 2 hours on this piece. And so I got to write. Because of the lighting in here, I have to put something behind it so you can't see through the fabric. So, got to write here. So last time you all saw this, it only had a piece of this bottom branch. So these branches are not finished. I just didn't want to have to move it off the Q-snap yet. So I stitched part of this branch, this whole branch section here, and got a little bit more done here. So that was 2 hours. And I did that because it is also part of my acrostic for December. It is the T in the acrostic of Twinkle. So go over that in just a moment, what we got to there. Let's see what I am stitching this piece on. I keep it in my Garan toten bag. Fits in there nicely. Let's see, there it is. I'm stitching this one on a piece of 32 count Jobelin by Bestitch Me. The color is called Awakening. It's probably my favorite shade that she does. It's a grayish green, which is one of my favorite combos. So see, it's so pretty. It looks more gray here. It's a smidge more green in person, but it's very nice. Okay, that was really all the stitching that I did. So we're only 10 minutes in and I only got those two, but I did finish this guy. So I'm happy about that. Beyond stitching, let's see, I've been doing some Flosstube watching. That is exciting, getting back into that. I have been watching, besides all of my usual ones, right? One of the new ones that I discovered was Mr. Holic. So if you don't know who Mr. Holic is, I will link him below or tag him, put the @ thing, whatever it's called. You've probably all seen him. I was under a rock, I don't know, but his videos are fantastic. He is super genuine, very enthusiastic about his stitching. Stitching is beautiful. I've had a lot of fun going back and watching some of his older videos because he's so enthusiastic about everything that he is doing, which I just love to see. So his enthusiasm is very contagious. So definitely check out his channel. Plans. So all my plans this month, because of the holidays and everything else, they all revolve around the Magazine Monthly Challenge. So this month at the Magazine Monthly Challenge, our theme is, I think I wrote it down. Yes, I did. So the theme is Razzle Dazzle. Typically in the group, people will choose a magazine piece for the theme. That's what I always do, but you can do whatever you want, to be honest. And then the acrostic is Twinkle. So I am going to be doing 4 hours on the theme piece and then 2 hours for each of the acrostic letters. So I'll just go through that real quick so you can see what I'm going to be working on, and then we'll do some haul. So theme piece. Theme piece is an oldie. I laugh about this one every time I pull it out because I started it for my daughter back when she liked unicorns. Now she's a freshman and unicorns not so much, right? But it's still a pretty piece, and one day I'll have it done. It'll probably be 5 years from now, but that's okay. Okay, a little bit crinkly, sorry. So my theme piece for Razzle Dazzle is going to be what I like to call the Majestic Unicorn. It is from a magazine, and I'm going to put the magazine behind it so you can see it better. Let's see, go. It's a full coverage piece, and it looks like this. So it is beautiful, or at least it will be beautiful when it's done. But it works for Razzle Dazzle because there is going to be some specialty floss done in the unicorn horn and a little bit of beading that will be done throughout the mane. Not saying I'm working on that part of it, but it does call for that. So this is being stitched with all the called for DMC on a piece of 28 count even weave. And I am right here. I have not pulled this piece out in a solid year, so I'm looking forward to getting some more work done on that. And for reference, this piece is in the Ultimate Cross Stitch Volume 7. It's a Christmas one. This guy here. And let's see, it's actually called the Majestic Unicorn. And it will one day look like this. So gonna put 4 hours in on that one. I assume that I can at least finish, you know, maybe this section right here. I would be totally happy if I can get through that section there. And I was doing the back stitch as I go on this one, so it actually looks really nice as you stitch it. I'm not a big fan of the back stitch, so I always try to do it as I go. That way I'm not left at the end with nothing but back stitch, because I will probably never do it. So as you go is best. All right, that is the theme piece. For the acrostic, again, it is Twinkle. So the T was the temperature tree, obviously T for temperature tree. I've already done my 2 hours, so that one is complete. The next letter is W. For that one, I'm going to be working on Cozy Critters. That is also from a magazine. keep that one in this fancy Garan bag. And let's see. I went with Cozy Critters because of the color white, because I will be stitching with some white. Let's see. I pulled all these pieces out, but I just pulled them out in the bag. I didn't really pull them out and prep them for a video because, well, I got busy. But let's see. Page 58 is where this one is. Stand by. There we are. Try to find the picture that does not have the chart with it. There it is. Okay. This is Cozy Critters. It is from Cross Stitch Crazy, issue number 22. It's not overly helpful, but looks like this. And the guy I'll be working on is this little penguin right here. So there's actually the penguin and these three guys. I've already stitched the polar bear. Eventually I'll stitch all of them, but we're working on the penguin for this piece. So here is where I am at. There we go, put that behind it. Looks like this. I've just got a little bit of his sweater started, and I'll be stitching the white within the sweater just to fit the prompt. This is stitched on a piece of 16 count pewter Aida by Picture This Plus. And as you can see, tucked in here is the little polar bear that I already have stitched. So we'll get 2 hours done on that guy. All right, next up is the eye. For that one, I'm going to be working on the adventure sampler. I've shown that semi recently, but I'm gonna do that one because of the, looks like, so there's some ice within this piece. There's some ice up on the mountains. So this is Adventure Sampler by Sambry Stitches. Will eventually look something like this. Sorry for the glare there. Mine so far looks like this. Ta-da! So far I have the Bigfoot, a few trees, and a little bit of mountain going on there. So 2 hours on that one. Hopefully in that amount of time I can finish this motif here and start putting some of the ice up on top of the mountains. I got my Snag Nabbit in the mail recently. So I discovered that tool when I was staying with my friend Carolyn from Seasick Stitch. She showed me the ways of the Snag Nabbit and how it helps tremendously when it comes to stitching with silk. So I now have one of those armed and ready. In fact, I think I'll show you in my haul that I got that. So because of that, I'm going to be working on one of my samplers. So for W, I am doing this sampler, and I just chose it for W because there's a W in it. It's a sampler. There's letters. That's the way it works. So this one is not in a Garan bag. Imagine that. But we will be stitching if it will come out. There we go. G. Leger 1898. This one here, it is my first official silk sampler. Makes me an official cross stitcher. Very fancy. I am stitching it in silks, so that is exciting. And I'm gonna get 2 hours done on this piece. I need to get with Carolyn to write down the name of the fabric that we chose. We just cut a piece of fabric in half, so we're both stitching it on the same piece. I could cheat and just write it down from her videos because she is awesome about remembering to say all that stuff, but I'll probably just ask her later. So I just started it when I was staying with her, so we are only right here, but we're gonna get a little bit more done on it this month. So stay tuned for that. I have quite the pile growing next to me here. Okay, that was W. For K, I'm going to stitch on the Pumpkin Harvest sampler, the one that I already showed. I chose that for K because it does have specialty stitches in it, which reminds me of my friend Candy, because Both of us are trying to learn the land of specialty stitches. So K for candy. And then L is going to be birds of a feather. I chose it for L because one of the birds, it actually has a list of the name of the birds on the chart. Stand by for zipper. The bird is actually called Lucifer, which is pretty hilarious given that they're hummingbirds. So I'll be stitching on the hummingbird called Lucifer. Maybe not that one, but one of them is called that. So L for Lucifer. This is a piece I have not pulled out in some time. On one of my older videos, I did show, it will eventually look something like this, but my ex-mother-in-law had stitched this piece, and I still have that piece, but I really wanted to stitch this piece here and put them side by side. Now, when I finish, I don't know if I will have them. Maybe I'll give them to my ex in case he wants them, because it was his grandmother and she has since passed. So who knows? But the whole point is I would like to be able to stitch a newer version of this to match the beautiful work she did here. So haven't pulled this one out in some time, but I'm stitching this one on some plain old 14 count blue Charles Craft Ada. And I'm doing that because that's what she stitched hers in. And it's a little bit crunchy because it's been packed away, but I am right here. Ugh, big old piece. Please hold. There we go. Okay, we're right there. Put this behind it so you can see better. There we go. This is another piece I'm doing the back stitch as I go, but it's turning out really nice so far. I hope to get 2 hours in, so there's going to be some more of these yellow flowers down in here, some more of the twigs, and I can at least start on the next hummingbird, which is going to be right in this area. So that is this one, and I'm going to keep this one in my rotation even through January and the next couple months because I do really want to get this one done, you know, wash them both, get them framed, and do something with them because they definitely deserve to be shown. I have shown this one before. I'll show it again when this one gets finished, but her name was Jewel and she did an amazing job on this piece. So get that one going. E, I'm also going to use the Adventure Sampler, so there'll be 4 hours stitched on that, and it's E for Eagle. That finishes the acrostic. So the only other thing that I'm going to be working on this month is Funky Bird for the 25/7 Facebook group. I have not done any 25/7 work and we're like 9 days in. So it is what it is there. I know my January plans, January or 2023 is like a year of stitching for me. I have grand plans. Feeling pretty good about them. Yeah. But I do have a start coming up. In fact, I'm going to start it right after this video. So you will definitely see this in the next one. So I'm starting a large Christmas piece. Typically when you have Christmas pieces and they're like multiple charts, I like to do them separate because it just takes me so long to stitch that I never see the finished product when it's all put together. But this particular one, I saw it in the Shepherd's Bush cross-stitch store in Utah, and I just loved it when it was all put together. So one of my very few BAPs, as I call them, the big ass piece that will be started tonight. This is Jack Frost's Tree Farm by Little House Needleworks, and this is just part 1. I don't know if I have. Okay, in this bag, I don't have all of them put together, but I'll show that at the next video. I just have the one that I'm starting tonight. So we're starting with the very first one, which is just the banner. I'm gonna pull it out of this because it's so shiny. So you can see, go, looks like this. And I am stitching mine with the conversion that came with the piece, the conversion that the Shepherd's Bush store actually put together. For the most part, it's called for. In fact, I did a small order on 123 Stitch for the Classic Colorworks ones that I was missing, but it's pretty much all Classic Colorworks. There's a couple DMCs thrown in there, and I think it will be beautiful. So starting on that tonight, I will show it to you on next video. And I'm looking around to see if there's anything that I missed, but that is it for plans. Okay, I have a little bit of haul. Part of the haul is a Stitchy Kindness / Christmas present, which was super special to me, and I'm really excited to show it. So quick little bit of haul, and then that will wrap this up. All right, I haven't shown haul in some time, so there's not a whole bunch, but there's more than normal. So I got a beautiful bag from Corey, Crafty Corey Stitches. She stitches for Acorns and Threads. I met her at the Acorns and Threads retreat, and she had her little badge thing that you get when you go to those retreats was made out of this fabric, and I just found it so beautiful. Looks like this. The colors are just right up my alley. It is very naturey, kind of springy. I love everything going on up in here. Love it. So I asked her if she had any of that fabric left over that she could make a bag for me. She did, and she did. So she made me a beautiful bag. Has a really pretty background that complements this fabric beautifully. And all of her bags always have a unique little zipper pull. I don't know if you can see this one, but it looks like this. It's like a monocle there. There we go. It has, there we go, really pretty flowers mixed in there, and then just some beads. So excited to put this one to use. Then let's see. I picked up a Book of Days 2023. I actually have 2 planners I'm going to be using next year. Both of them are very basic. This one is strictly going to be used. I'm only going to write down like how much time I stitched and what I stitched on. So I'm not going to do any planning in here. I'm not going to do anything along those lines. It's literally going to be every day I'm going to put down how much time and the piece that I worked on. And if I get any starts or finishes, I'll write them along the side, but that's going to be it. It's going to be just strictly used for time tracking. And I see all these floss tubers out there using this book and putting pretty stickers in it. And I wanted a sticker book. That's really what that came down to. So stickers will happen, and I have another cute planners. So pick that one up. And all the way down, I got a tiny little pair of scissors. Nothing exciting there. I got these at Hobby Lobby because, well, I was out of town and I needed some scissors. These were super inexpensive. In fact, they're a little bit warped, but they get the job done. And the whole reasoning was if the airline tells me I can't fly with these and I had to throw them away, I was out $5. However, they did let me fly, they were well used, and they are now my new travel scissors. So I'll continue to bring these back and forth with me whenever I go out of state. All right, the last thing that I want to show in the haul is actually a Stitchy Kindness gift. So I was at the Hobby Lobby and looking for just, a small piece to stitch while on vacation. The craft stores around me, they don't carry the dimensions kits. So the Hobby Lobby I went to, it had like a full range of dimensions kits. I mean, it had these little tiny guys, but it also had the bigger kits and everything in between. So that was really fun to see. While I was there, I saw 2 kits that I had seen at my friend Carolyn's house, and I fell in love with them. They are Christmas scenes, and they are beautiful. They are here, but they're spendy, right? Because they're big, they're kits, they're dimensions golds, and it is what it is. So I was there, I saw them, I looked at them, I put them back because it's Christmas time, we're traveling, and I just was like, nope, not right now. So I put them back. My other half, who was shopping with me or with me while I was shopping for a project, saw me do that, and he was kind enough that he picked them up and purchased them for me for an early Christmas present. So very meaningful to me when you see someone wanting to get something but not really being able to at that moment, and you just stepping up and getting it for them. That to me is just a super kind gift. That's my style of gifting, right? So without further ado, we have the Gold Collections Winter Cabin. Ooh, major glare. You've probably seen these before, but looks like this. And this one is my favorite. I like both of them, but this one, if I had to only choose this or only choose one, it would be this one. So we have the Gold Collection Dimensions Kit, A Treasured Time. It's classic, right? When I think of Christmas and snow, there's classic ice skaters and houses and all the things. So both are full coverage. It's gonna be a minute, right? I am going to start this one this month. Or maybe even New Year, New Start. This is gonna be the one that I do first. And I do wanna start it right away because it would just be really amazing to have this one stitched and hanging up in the house. So, got these, very exciting, ta-da! That wraps it up. So, just over 30 minutes, I need to go make some dinner. We are gonna do green beans and Costco shrimp and rice. Very exciting, but that is up today. Watching some Christmas movies, doing some stitching. I hope you all are well. I hope you all are getting some stitching in, and I will see you all, if not next week, the week after, but I am shooting for next week. So, happy stitching. Bye, everybody.